So I'm still working over here. I'm still working. I'm still coding everything. Lead marketing, everything is still on. It's. I have unbelievably strange and stupid problems over here that kind of related to that, not related to the work I intended that I had to do to get that done. But I seem to be being attacked, and I'm dealing with that as well as other things, other life things simultaneously. But we are making progress, just writing software. We're just writing software. Once I get all the software written, all the websites designed, see, I was a contractor. I was a freelance software engineer and marketer and graphic designer, and business builder, and I do operation strategies, and I build brands, and I design the entire way that the company is going to work. So when I get back out, so the first thing I do is, like, I'm getting all this stuff up at one time, right? So people can, when I actually say, okay, I'm up, we're going towards that goal now, towards decentralizing the company, people can look at all the products that I have, and not one thing, one thing may not appeal to everybody, but if I have multiple brands, and I also still offering software development service, AI development services now, in a productized model, and very if there's anything in AI, I'm not going to be, it's like you're going to be signing a contract saying that we're not going to be entered into contracts where that, like, a do not compete or a non-disclosure agreements are, it just really depends on the scope. But do not competes, we're not going to be entering into do not competes. And I'm not giving anyone the singularity. So it's really not that difficult. If you want a summary of it, it's robots building robots and innovating themselves. And they can do other things in swarm robotics as well. But the AI, it starts with the AI that controls, the body of the physical devices. And but I'm not giving AI that does that out to anyone. I'm not going to be tricked into it. Not going to enter into contracts. You're going to enter into a contract with me if you want AI, specifically saying we're not giving you that. We'll give you what we're discussing to make your business more efficient. I have a service that businesses can white label called what do they call it? It's I don't remember the name. I'll have to look back at that stuff. I've been working on other things. We're consolidating their company. I basically have I alone, but I'm going to be obviously hiring contractors and stuff to help with work. But I can automate your entire company, every aspect of it. You say, well, we don't really know enough about this and what their job is to say we can do that. I can say that. I can automate your entire company. But you may not want your entire company automated, but you want to be, plugged into the future. So, and maybe you're concerned about the future where AI is going. If AI is making everything so efficient, where's your business going? So we're just going to, I'm not absolutely saying that that's what's going to happen, because we have a lot of things going on here. I'm saying if you're concerned about it. But what we're basically doing is we can take your entire company and everything that you do, and we can automate as much as you want automated, and turn what you do into a product. And then you can basically help other small businesses and individuals launch your model from their home by charging for your software and subscriptions to your software. And you can charge for other things that they may not have access to, like your inventory. You can, provide them access to your warehouses or whatever, you want to do. So and then you can take this software and you can sell it as your own. We're building it for you. And you can have other companies white label it, is what I mean. So that is one thing, and I have a lot of things that are geared for me to actually get around Raleigh and Durham and Greensboro. Probably going to be doing business in Wilmington, Charlotte, pretty much all of North Carolina. I don't mind driving around. I don't get on planes. So if you are in business and you're going to be requesting my service, keep that in mind. I don't get on planes. I don't like the engineering of airplanes. I think that they have this phrase, everybody is going to die. Like in the engineering, when they're thinking about how they're going to engineering, it's like this phrase shows up, everybody is going to die anyway. And it's like they're very poorly engineered. And if you look at the news, look at the helicopters and the airplanes crashing, and they're very poorly engineered. And there's no plan. The plan is for you to crash. So you could have it break apart and parachute down. That's just an easy example. You could have built a different way of thinking about the problem altogether, that it has multiple fail safes, and if all else fails, if all the equipment fails, the way that it actually falls to the ground is mechanically dampened. The fall is mechanically dampened through the using the physics of the actual fall. So there's a lot of things you could do, and they don't do it. So pride, everybody's going to die anyway, whatever. I think it's stupid. I don't get on airplanes. I do have designs for what I call airships, but they're not hot air balloons. They're not balloons. So anyhow, that was a tangent. So yeah, I have a lot of things that are actually geared to get me around town talking to people, and then they find out about our other services that we offer, our subscription services, our social media platforms. We have a lot of games. We have a lot of things that appeal to a lot of different individuals. So I'm trying to give everyone, and we actually get going here, and we're saying, okay, Allez Marketing's up, and I'm going to put a landing page up for the financial goal to Decentralized. When we start bringing in people to the Decentralized model, automatically what you do is you take a test on reading others empathetically. It's 100 videos. You watch someone talking about their day. These videos you can't find online. We gather them, and we're the only ones with the videos. Every 3 months there's new videos put out. There's new tests. At some point you're watching the video, when you have enough information to make a determination one way or another, we stop it, the video. You have 10 multiple choice questions that intentionally try to trick you by framing them in idiosyncrasies in society where people commonly get stuck, but distributed sparsely across the entire test. You're not going to see a pattern of things you can rely on to pick which one, and you're guessing what they're going to say next. What are they going to say next? We gave you enough information for you to empathize with them. And empathy is a big term. Empathy is a big term because empathy is basically an emergent phenomenon of your brain's ability to humans and dolphins and dogs and great apes have the ability to form an image of their head of an object in their environment, and as well as life experiences and relating their biology, the person's biology, to your own, and having life experiences to understand nuances in their communication between their religion, their cultural background, where they grew up in the world, what beliefs are in general across in that region. So it basically means that if your ability to empathize with 100 different people with vastly different backgrounds and finish their census for them, this means a lot of things at one time, right? And it basically says it's like a driver's test for running a multi-million-dollar business. In my research, if you can do this, there is a very high chance that you can run a multi-million-dollar business successfully. And I want you as a business partner because there are no W-2 employees here, right? So, and this is how people are going to get into a company where it's people coming into the company and us giving them a revenue stream to do whatever in the world they want with, even if they just take all the money and run for as long as they have that revenue stream, which we don't take it away from them. That there's a very high probability that they're not only going to help us help them and help everyone else and expand the model, but they're going to run a successful business, a successful subsidiary. And if at any point in time they don't like the way the company is going, they don't like the way they're being treated in the company, just things are kind of very unlikely because of the decentralized model and the tests they get in to begin with. But it reassures people before they even actually reach the education level to operate how they're going to operate once they're able to pass the test, and think how they're going to think once they're able to pass the test. Before they even make that level, it reassures everyone. It's like, look, if you put your time into this building a company and helping others, that no one can just take your work. Why all your IPs are yours. They're not ours. While you're with you say you dedicate, say this IP is for this subsidiary for this amount of time, or as long as I'm with the company. If you want to leave, all the businesses that you built, you can just take off. There's like really not even, there's a formal process, but it's an automated formal process. And I'm trying to make sure that there's not really much of a waiting period. Like if someone just pisses you off and you want to go. Take all your stuff and go. And that reassures people before they even enter the model or understand how to enter the model. But I basically streamlined a lot of things that abstracted a lot of complexity, is how Stripe put it when they were talking about how they designed their platform, abstracting a lot of complexity into a few steps. The fact that you can pass that test, and then there's a year-long training program as a 1099, so we can make sure that you're trained specifically in business, marketing, psychology, and sales, in a integrated environment with 7 other people with different personality types, where you're all working together as a team, meeting goals, educational goals, and goals to build a business together and make it successful within that year. Where you're coming into the company is not contingent upon success in those areas. It's just contingent on your continued ability to stick with us as a contractor. And once you get through the year, regardless of if your business that you created is successful or not, regardless if you've met all the educational goals, you're going to own a part of the company and have a revenue stream to do whatever you want with. But everything's based on probability. It just increases the probability. And so there's a lot of freedom to move around. You don't have to think about rigid rules. And you don't have to worry about either. In the past, I tried to come up with like all these contracts, but I was like, it was just like working against the model. Just trust the math. It's math about humans. I think this is right. Let's just go ahead and run this experiment, because inevitably it hasn't been done before. That's what this is, an experiment. I think it's going to work because it's based on a lot of knowns. So that's the model. That's the model. And so but it takes a significant amount of money, and keep in mind we're using money as a convention because I have a technological advancement singularity, and I can go to the ocean and get raw materials for that for free. And it's just so many raw materials and so much space in the ocean. I don't really care what happens as far as raw materials go. People trying to buy up sulfur mines and whatever. Yeah, I don't care, because I'll just go to the ocean. And then if for some reason money is not working, I can just give people stuff instead of giving them, and I give them food. I can give them things, right? And that is as an incentive to get an education to be able to have my capabilities on their own and do it themselves, so they're not dependent on my offerings or anyone else's offerings. So money's a convention. The Bible says, don't say I'm going to go into the city, buy, sell, trade, make a profit. I mean, businesses kind of work like that, and businesses are successful. I really think that that's discussing more over an attitude than it is the expectations of being able to. It's like you want to have expectations to go and fail, but you also need to know how businesses succeed, and businesses succeed all the time, and what are making businesses successful. And that's reality, right? And so that's not what I'm doing. It's not saying that I'm not operating against that first. I'm just saying that this is what I'm working on. I expect there to be money, based on how people I did research on the model by doing interviews with people, and most people are extremely excited about this, and they agree with the model. So if people are agreeing with the model, and we have competitive products and services that there's a market need for, and we're providing good customer service, they're most likely going to be buying with us, because they're supporting something that they believe in, something that they want for themselves and their family, and we are not asking them to compromise quality and service for that. In fact, I believe that my products and services are actually far above standards, because I'm not happy with a lot of market offerings. So I just think that I put more time into it to begin with. So there's a lot involved in this. I need time to sit down on my computer and finish it. And I have been being pulled all over the place. And there's things are so serious what I'm being pulled to. It's like, okay, this just seems to be like a part of God's plan. It's helping me become a more efficient person. It's helping, I'm helping others with other people with other problems. It's helping me relax about the state of the world. Like, okay, you don't have to do everything. You should do something, but everything's going to be okay. So I just, everything happens for a reason. I'm not saying I couldn't work more efficiently. What I started doing is putting something together that I called Burn Through It, which is an AI assisted program to get through basically projects that I are almost done, and they're just about done but not quite market ready yet. It gets them market ready. It gets everything finished. And software code that hasn't been written. The complete projects are just ideas right now, and I have an outline of what that's going to be a part of what we push out there. It can finish the entire thing relatively quickly. So that's what I decided. Okay, I need to figure something out here. So I'm investing my time into that, and instead of working the classic way of, even though I'm using AI now to help me finish things. I don't use my AI models, because my AI models, while they are would help me get through things a lot quicker than OpenAI's AI models and other AI models, it's dangerous for me to have them in this environment on my computer. So I don't use my AI models for that reason, because in 2017, when this all started, what I ultimately determined is that once I have to start talking about what I have, because I have to help make cognitive dissonance in people's minds, especially with all the naysayer garbage diluting the pond going on. I have to talk about what things very plainly and what I have, right? And that is going to get the attention of hackers. The rewards are very, very, very high. It's a technological advancement singular. If I have this on my computer, they're going to get it. Once they get it, I don't know what they're going to do. It's a genie in a lamp. So I decided the best strategy is do the game theory thing and just sit online and talk to people, release information, strategically release information as we progress towards me being in a more secure environment, and as we progress towards people, models like OpenAI models and Suno and Sora. Well, that's OpenAI. There's ChatGPT, Anthropic. Once people's cognitive dissonance gets a lot of attention released from it, from experiencing AI, and so now they're letting go of the naysayer stuff, and they're letting go of their cognitive distortions and their confirmation bias that they created to maintain their expectations of their own value by saying that this is never going to be possible. Once all that stuff breaks up, it just makes the probability of, even if I'm in a secure environment and someone still gets a hold of the technological advancement singularity, everybody else has had time to catch up. A lot of other companies put the government plans in place for, swarm robotic attacks, stuff like that. So it just was, to me, it was the best decision to not have it together on anywhere it can be accessed. And that turned out to be, in what I saw going on at my hotel I was living at, people coming and going, and their body language and communication with me, it seemed that was the best decision. That was the best decision. So trying to keep things as safe as possible, trying to get work done. It's a lot to manage at one time. I have other things going on. But we're getting through it, and I'm just want to let everybody know, like, I've put a lot into this since 2017, getting this done. If I were gonna stop, I've been being bludgeoned to stop, dude. Bludgeoned on multiple fronts, and it's very difficult for me to handle because I'm autistic and I get overwhelmed by just normal things. But the thing is, I'm not doing anything illegal. Not only am I not doing anything illegal, I'm actually using W-2 laws in places I don't have to, because the technological advancement singularity, once people actually see what that looks like, it looks more like magic than engineering. Things just manifesting from nowhere, because chemistry can do a lot more with materials that we have around us in our environment than people sit there and think of. It's like an anaconda. It's like, you thought you're a good person, here comes a big anaconda ripping through your heart, ripping through everything, saying, I want that, give it to me now. And I tested this, my own tests, and I think somebody else did a test on me, maybe to just make a point to me or something, or maybe God made a point, I don't know. It's what it's like. It's like an anaconda. You thought you could handle it. It's just something, some primal trigger. Once people see it, it's like, snap, Black Friday, worst Black Friday we ever had. Give it to me now. So, as long as I'm not actually showing it on camera in my research, I can talk about it, and people can have all the cognitive distortions they want, call me all sorts of names that they want. I don't care. That's not the point. The point is that there's people that are just far enough to say, okay, I was almost there, but I can see how this is coming together. Okay, yeah, genie lamp, got it. So now they have the way that they manage security, and now they can go ahead and finish whatever they're doing. Go ahead and hurry up and get that far, whatever's happening. I'm not out for having that soul advantage. I don't expect that I do. I don't expect that I ever did. I think that people like Patrick Gunkel succeeded with his idea calculator, but they run into these astronomical problems in the scale that this thing can happen if anything goes wrong. And I don't know what they do after that. But what I decided to do was the game theory thing and talk about it online. And Allez Marketing, a decentralized business model, education, rapid educational programs, which I really designed that for myself, but realized that we could use it for this also. And for something that I call the Dandelion Exodus. So everything is coming together. Everything is coming together. Do not worry. Because even if something were to happen to me in this dimension, whatever dimension you're experiencing me from, and whatever life lessons you need to learn with or without me here, if that is real at all, I think there's a possibility that we're being perfected in kind of in our own dimensions. And there's a lot of people in the past in areas like kind of new age psychic stuff that has been dismissed. I really think that the human mind is an instrumentation. They're picking up on something, and in combination with things from the Bible, I really think, and physics, quantum physics, I really just think that there's the possibility of that we're each kind of living in our own dimensions and being perfected. And there's a bigger, larger singularity behind the technological advancement singularity. Everything's going to kind of converge to where everything is perfect all the time, and the dead raised, and Jesus. Everything comes together. Jesus was telling you the truth the entire time. That is how it's going to happen. He is going to separate sheep from goats. Jesus is the Word of God, right? And the Word of God's doing that. So I just wanted to say, don't worry about anything. Don't worry about things. This is coming. This is coming one way or another. We are going to have this type of business that people can say, that's the kind of job I want to go into, where I just get a revenue stream, decide how I want to do with it. It's fail restart model. If your subsidiary fails, you just liquidate the physical assets and then start over with money that you still have coming in from us. Just try again until something works. And that's how this is going to work. Or retire if you want to. Go on pregnancy leave for 2 years, 3 years, 5 years if you want to. Go take a vacation for 10 years in Maui. Do whatever you want to do, because when you reach a point where you understand where the money's coming from and how everything works, and you can actually see and feel other people's life situations, there's a higher probability you're going to do something. What you want to do when you're doing whatever you want to do is helpful for you and others as well. That's what this is based on. So, 2017, what's it? It's 2025. So that is 8 years, right? That's when I started on this. Now it's been 8 years and we're still not up yet, which NASA and their timelines make me feel a lot better. They really do. I don't really agree with their timelines. But, that makes, it's like, okay, it's like, take a little bit of pressure off me. Look at NASA saying we're not going to have satellites in space for 75 years. So, power, solar panels in space for 75 years. I don't think that's true. I just don't think that's true. But that makes me look a lot better. So thank you. So one of the things that I'm really concerned about is people's inability to stay on top of their physical health. And as I mentioned before, and as I read someone say on LinkedIn that confirmed validated what I was already thinking, already working on, is that we're in a mental health crisis. I don't think you should blame yourself for number one. I don't really think you should blame yourself for a lack of experiences that are, that if you had, would cause you to think a lot more in a more healthy way about your life and what you should be doing and everything also. I just think that that I know that my model appeals to a lot of people across the entire board. And what I'm asking is that you take care of your health, because I care about your health. I care about people. That's one of the major reasons I'm doing Allez Marketing and building this decentralized company instead of doing what I was doing, which was basically like everyone else. Kind of, I had this thing, I had a different role, very more relaxed roles, because I have robots, designs for robots that are very, do whatever humans can do. And I was already planning on giving that to my employees, but I was doing a traditional vertically traded model, jobs, the group dynamics based on, a lot on people's personality types, and and just within a vertical publicly traded model, designing home automation, robots, home robots, aerospace, security, physical and cyber security. And then I was going to have a separate automotive company, because I just didn't want to make one company just too big. I was going to have the automotive company as separate, and I was going to compete with Volvo. I'm still going to release those designs for those cars. I have designs for cars. They're very futuristic. I don't really want to talk about them, but until I get them out, because I give things away a lot, and I do it for good reasons. But it's like I get trampled constantly giving things away, and no one gives me credit back to me. So we're taking care of that also with the ultradian rhythm system. It's not just about credit for me. It's about people being confused, and others masquerading around the things that they didn't design as though they did, even if it's just by, well, I don't have to tell you my source, and I understand it, so I'm just going to go ahead and take it, and you're just going to leave you to the impression that I did all this. And the actual work was massive amounts of work to come to that conclusion based on raw mechanics, and then more work involved to get that conclusion delivered to someone's mind so they can understand it. So now they understand it. We did all this work to help them understand it, and I did all this work to help them understand it. Then they just take it and just leave everyone the impression that it's theirs. It confuses people, because then when you see me, you don't know. Do you know that I'm an engineer? Do you know that I'm a scientist? Do you know that this is what scientists look like? Given I'm kind of it's like I have this thing. I like being called they. It's like, when are they going to do this? When are they going to make a business model where you can just do whatever you want with a revenue stream? It's like, okay, I'm they. But I'm anarchist they. They're they also, but they're trapped in these paradigms of ruling over each other in tiers. I don't like those things. So, but I still do really scary things compared to people's expectations. I wasn't just trying to talk about myself. There was a point to this. I was saying this. I don't remember what it was. I want to let it go. But I'm going to tell you about some things now. I'm going to tell you about. Oh, it's been 33 minutes. That's amazing. 34 minutes nearly. Okay, so I'm going to tell you. Thanks for making it this far. I'm going to tell you about a few things. Cycloastrigenol, TA65, Geron Corporation, and I don't know if it was the patent was. I don't know if the patent was sold, or I didn't really look into it. How the patent got transferred over to Telomere TA Sciences. What happened there? But now it's TA Sciences has this patent on the claim to say that cycloastrigenol on the product packaging, the utility for it is to increase your telomere length. Everyone just like ignores that. Why are you ignoring that? Don't ignore that. Don't ignore that. Don't play nice. Play nice. All you just don't put that on the packaging. So all you have to do is don't put that on the packaging. Don't put it in the advertising. You can sell cycloastrigenol. Just don't do that. Like, what is the actual big deal? Put it, give people, why do you even need to put that in packaging? People don't even that doesn't even does that even register? Do you know what telomeres are? Does this is going to lengthen your telomeres? Does that even register them? You need to market it in a different way, probably would make you more profitable anyway. But out of the goodness of your heart, you know that that's the service that you're doing for them. So that's how I'm thinking about telling people about Cyclash Journal now. This stuff works extremely well at keeping your brain healthy is part of it, and keeping you looking younger. Then we have nicotinamide riboside, True Niagen. So TA65 and True Niagen, these two things. True Niagen is what it is there's this compound called NAD+ that your body stops producing when you turn age 20. True Niagen, nicotinamide riboside, is the part of the building block. It's the building blocks for NAD+. Your body's like, hey, we can put it together. Let's just put it together. And I'm getting this really from a lot of their advertising and stuff. So with that, all cellular life on the planet, even single-celled organisms, need NAD+ for their cells to continue functioning, perform operations like DNA repair. And when it depletes, your body starts snowballing. It starts trying to take it from everywhere. And that's one of the major pillars of aging. So just by giving it to it, your cells have what they need to do to function properly, and you can keep replenishing it indefinitely. These two compounds together are going to give you such a significant advantage in your health, in your mental health. You're going to be like, why didn't I do this before? And that's probably going to get you into a lot of other things. That's probably going to get you into alpha GPC. Let's stop right here at alpha GPC. If you use alpha GPC, you need to be taking serrapeptase and allokinase, one or the other, perfectly. I take them together. I think they're more powerful together, to break down fibrin, because a 10-year-long study linked alpha GPC to increased risk of stroke and heart attack through increased fibrin production. So you need to break it down, and that's going to be better for your health anyway. Nattokinase and serrapeptase are enzymes that break down organic junk in your blood, like fibrin. So that's the first thing I'm going to tell you. Then there's a lot of other compounds that are going to significantly help your mental health. The next one I want to tell you about is another brand name called Cortibol, that has ashwagandha and cordyceps and other ingredients in there. Their formula, while I believe there was a lawsuit about claims of it helping people lose weight as false advertisement, that is not why I tell people about it. I tell people about it because of the effect on their mental health. It seems to reduce cortisol levels, and that significantly helps with your mental health. And we have L-tyrosine, L-theanine. Those are really, and make sure that find out if you're anemic, or if you have a low iron anemia, or if you need to take iron. If you need to take iron, you're not taking iron, you're going to notice bags under your eyes. That's what actually started on this entire health craze. To begin with, is that I had significant bruising under my eyes, and someone was like, "Who gave you a black eye?" And it just happened in such a long period of time. I didn't realize that was going on, but he called it out. I was like, no, it hit me under my eye, but this means I have a serious underlying health problem. I researched them. I have low iron anemia. Started taking iron. My health immediately picked up. Taking iron and vitamin C together. So I started feeling like memories started coming back from childhood, because of the way I felt. I hadn't felt that way since childhood, like since I was 5, and I had memories of running around on a softball park, and it was just great. So keep your health up as we progress here. Great things are coming, and don't get too depressed about your job and about where your life is going. There are people working for you to have better jobs that you want to be in, instead of something where they're not recognizing your talent. There's not a lot of places to move up. It's cutthroat on the inside. I was there for 14 years, captive in Babylon for 14 years. And I hate it. I hate it. I don't want other people to be stuck with that. So it's been very hard for me. It's been very tricky to get out of all this stuff. Very tricky. But I'm a hacker and was a prodigy at social engineering, so I have a little bit more of an advantage than others, and I'm helping others get out of this also. So, yeah, that's what's going on. That's all I'm asking, is that you don't lose heart about where things are going. Just take things easy and keep your health up, and great things are coming. Thanks.